So, season 4 of FOA, what would I rate it? Well, no, not what would I rate it. How do I think it will go? Okay. Um, so I've watched the last two seasons, season 2 and 3, from those videos on YouTube, and also with the experience of racing in there myself. Um, like, so a lot has changed with the new regulations, the rules. So I definitely think more people will definitely be getting punished for breaking them, and the rules will be more strict and more heavily applied. So that will be a good factor for keeping the race fair, making sure that the cleaner drivers win the races. And obviously the setup system that was introduced in season 3 was a big upgrade. Everyone enjoys it. You have to think smart about what setup you're going to use. Obviously everyone can be using different setups, even though most of the time everyone is mostly using the exact same setup. So we'll see if anything changes in the next season, but from everything I've seen so far with the preparation and stuff, it's looking like it's going to be a real good season, and I'm excited to see how things go moving forwards. So my personal goals for the FOA 2 season. Now, recently I have lost my teammate. He just upped and left, quit, didn't say anything, gave no reason. So I will be racing alone until I can find another teammate. But I don't really have my eyes on anyone right now, or at the moment. I did well on the last one. I joined near the beginning, and I almost beat Jemima, my rival, for that entire season. I had a real good chance, and then I kept throwing the points away in the last 2 races. Issues with lag and cars just randomly going into me. Not much I can do. At the end of the season, I just got fed up and walked away. So hopefully, my own personal goal is to just win the championship. I want to prove myself that I have the skill and I have what it takes to be good in the cars, because I'm not as good as other drivers, and I know that. And I've learned that the hard way. But I at least want to know that I am good where I am supposed to be. I need to prove that I have what it takes and that I can stand a chance, and that I can also learn from previous races and get better the more I race. And FOA 2 is probably a really good way for me to show that. And honestly, I said I didn't want to race in FOA 1 this season because of this reason, and I'll just be slowing the other drivers on track down. So hopefully, I can at least prove to myself that I have what it takes to be in FOA 1, and hopefully I can find a team. So maybe my team is just not my team. My goal is to show that I should belong in FOA 1, and FOA 2 is a good way to show that. My team being promoted to season 5 in season 5, I feel like that's very unlikely. Again, not having a teammate will definitely make things a lot harder. And with me being the only one driving, I don't know the skill level of the other drivers yet. I haven't learned how they race. Obviously, when I was with Jemima, and in the last season, I knew he was faster than me, and I tried my hardest to keep up, but he just had so much more speed going through every single corner, and the gaps grew so much in just a short amount of time, whereas the other drivers weren't as good as me, and I could beat them easily. Another, I mean, even in Hungary last season, Triso was a good rival. I was faster than him, and but mean, and I was trying my hardest. I just to overtake him. I just couldn't figure out how. And if that keeps happening throughout this season, then it will be a struggle for my team, and I may need to consider not having a team in when I don't think it will get promoted. That's what I've seen. Well, that's what I've predicted anyway. So I really do need to find a new teammate first. Now that will be, if I want to get my team into FOA 1, I need to find a new teammate. Cow catchers so the addition of cow catchers. Now I'm not too good about them. I mean, they're great for racing, and they help stop bumper glitch. So, and like when your car lags into you and stuff. So I shouldn't be set back too far with the cow catchers, but they are still a little bit buggy on their own, like crashing into the lines that maybe raise a bit too much high. So maps will hopefully have to be, the lines on the map will have to be like perfectly adjacent to the road. But I don't think that's much of an issue. Obviously, they look really wonky on the front of the car, especially without the off-road tires, which would also be good for like a tire system. But I don't know how that would work. But yeah, I mean, they do act like a front wing, and I could imagine if they were able to get damage, you'd have to replace it during a pit stop, and that could be something really cool. Obviously, them taking damage would mean the whole car needs to take damage, and that just that wouldn't be. I don't think that's a thing wanted in the FOA. As it just makes pit stops a lot more of a hassle as with the fuel. So I think we should see a lot cleaner racing, less safety cars. But I mean, I'm not too bright on them. But hey, just because I don't like them doesn't mean they're not going to be good. So definitely will bring a lot cleaner racing. What can I expect from future seasons of FOA? So as time goes on, mechanics, people, the whole league, everything is evolving, getting better. People get more experience, or the drivers get more experience, and new people will be joining the league, ranking or getting into FOA 1 or FOA 2, and things can really, like in the next 2 seasons, we could see things really shake up with new mechanics, new mechanics being introduced and new ways to race, a different style of racing in general. And I honestly think this league will be up. This league will definitely be it's not even it is already number 1. But the only thing we can see it do is get bigger and brighter than it already is now. And I'm excited to see where things go. The next season, or season 4 and the one after, are looking to be really promising, and I just can't wait to see what happens. This league has so much potential, and it's just gonna. I'm lost for words. That's how much it can grow. So the only thing we can really do now is wait, but I do have amazingly high hopes. Who do I think will win the FOA 1 and FOA 2 World Drivers' Championship? So, first of all, FOA 2, me. I mean, I don't actually. No, I could find some new rivals. I don't. I haven't looked at anyone else yet. So actually, I can do that right now while I'm here looking at it. Uh, so FOA 2, the roster. My biggest challenges in FOA 2. Well, actually, it will probably be Joachim and Tricio. Tricio is I would maybe even Paparino. Paparino did really well at the end of the season last season. He was catching up with Jemama. He was able to get P2s constantly. Had a lot of fights with Jemama as well. Maybe I think he did get a couple wins. I would. He is honestly looking to win the FOA 2 championship. And even if he doesn't, he's going to have a great rivalry with Tricio. Tricio also a really good driver from my experience. He gets accused a lot of auto running, but he showed us a clip, but of him using it. But it wasn't that long ago. So I would keep my eye on him. But even when he's not using it, you can tell he's not using it. Or you can easily tell when someone is using it. So you can see he isn't. And he is just going that fast, and he also, like, I would consider him better than me, but I also think he is slightly above my level, so I could potentially keep up with him, and he might honestly be my goal to beat. He even showed himself in the last few FOA 1 races. He was almost about to win an FOA 1 race on his debut in FOA 1. He was about to win, and somehow he filled up his car to 99% of fuel, and that in the long run pushed him over the edge as he was inches away from the finish line after he ran out of fuel. So Tricio has what it takes as well, and Joachim, an underrated driver. I think he also has potential too. A lot of people doubt his skill. He is practically on the same level as me. I would say he's roughly the same skill as me. I can beat him. He beats me sometimes. And even though Tricio, I'm expecting him to be a rival of mine. I think Joachim is looking like to be the main rival, and he might even beat me too. But I can't. We're just gonna see how things go. But I do think Paparino will be the one to win the FOA 2 championship. Now for FOA 1, last season, I believe Mercedes won with Khan and FRL. FRL winning the final race, I believe, as I commentated over that. And I've also seen the other races. So Mercedes is looking like they have the championship in the bag again with the same lineup as before, and now with Jemama being an academy driver / a reserve, we could see him jump in every now and then. He's shown that he has the skill in FOA 2. He won the championship, which is probably the reason he's in the academy in the first place. So I would expect, but Beast Mode Beast Mode is also a really good driver, and he does dominate races a lot. He has so much good speed into every single corner that he could potentially also be fighting with FRL for the championship. You might even see Zebra up a little bit because he has done really well in some races. But I think the two drivers to be looking out for mostly are Beast Mode and FRL going into Season 4. So it's going to be close out of those who actually does win the championship.